Hi everyone, I'm Alister Benn and you're watching Expressive Photography. Why are you watching Expressive Photography? I'm assuming that you're doing so because you hope to change something that you're already doing or to become different as a photographer than you already are. And that's kind of why I make Expressive Photography and why I run Expressive Photography, to try and achieve those things. So we're going to look today at the third part of our frustration trilogy, and in particular the whole concept of creativity envy, or putting it another way, why we feel frustrated about our own creativity. I'm going to do this video in two parts and split it halfway down the middle today. So the first part is really to look at the causes of frustration, why we get frustrated by other people's creativity, why we feel envious and jealous of other people's creativity. And then in the second part, I want to look at what we can do about it, how we can overcome that, how we can have a better relationship with our own creativity and ultimately our own photography. Speaking for myself, I know that for decades I thought I had a pretty good relationship with my own photography, but ultimately, looking back on it now, I had a very unhealthy relationship with my photography and it caused huge amounts of frustration. Part of the problem is it just looks so damned easy. We see all of these photographs all over the internet all the time of incredible photographs taken in incredible places by incredibly talented and creative people. And we just see that as the bar and we just strive and strive and strive to feel as if we can get a little bit of that creativity mojo for ourselves. So I want to start by looking at this photograph really, which was taken on Iceland. I think it was about 2016, 15 or 16. So it's 6 or 7 years old now. And I had been going to Iceland for maybe 5 or 6 years by this point in time, going back to the same locations many times with clients, running trips, being there on my own, and ultimately probably spent well over a year on the island, making photographs, experiencing the place, and trying to make photographs that would serve my purpose, which at that time was to build my business, grow my brand, become popular, have people think I was an incredible photographer, gain followers, gain reputation, and ultimately to grow my business. And the pressure at that time was to produce these incredible photographs all the time. And when I finally made this photograph, I really felt I'd achieved something. I really felt that I'd been in the right place at the right time. I'd captured an incredible event. The whole aesthetic of the scene was exactly what it was I was hoping to do. And, it was amazing, Now, the problem is I never showed this photograph to anybody. And ultimately, the reason for that is because it's a damned lie. It's just a lie. That event never happened. And if we look at the raw file, you can see this is what I experienced. I was forced into this desire to make a misrepresentation of a scene because I was jealous and envious of other people's photographs that were being shown to me from these locations. Beautiful auroras over pointy mountains, dramatic events, incredible scenes. And I felt so frustrated that every time I went there, I didn't get those conditions. And part of my creative jealousy or my creative frustration was a cause of misrepresentations, of lies, of people showing things that had never happened. Some of them undoubtedly did, but a good percentage of them didn't. And I think that's one of the fundamental problems that we all face today, is we don't know what's real. And if we don't know what's real, how can we judge that for its creativity, its authenticity, and how it represents reality and that artist, inverted commas, their relationship with those experiences and events? So I think one of the biggest problems we have these days with creativity is we don't know what we can believe. And this is huge. So I would urge you to try and find different parameters, different ways of gauging what you want to try and achieve. And what we're going to cover in the second part of this video is ways that you can give yourself the opportunity to find your creativity and express yourself in a way that's going to give you a far better relationship with your own body of work. So I think the first thing we've got to do is relax, have a cup of coffee, sit back and chill. Because really what's happening is we take this thing just too damn seriously the whole time. It becomes just so much pressure all the time to show your best work, to show this vision of who you really are. When in fact, most of us are hiding behind the veneer, we're hiding behind our armour. And as soon as I stick on a Pink Floyd t-shirt and lie back in my chair, I can relax a little bit more and be me and not have to deal with any of this rubbish anymore. Creativity is my business. Expression is my business. Articulating how I feel is my business. I want to share my passion for self-expression, self-actualization, finding time in the landscape as therapy, something that's good for us, pointing our camera at things that excite us and engage us and inspire us, finding ourselves in the landscape, finding peace in the landscape, and using that to have a good experience and to produce images that ultimately express that sense of what it meant to us. That is what creativity is. It's not faking skies to make the scene look 10 times more impressive than it was when you were really there because you have to keep your social media profile growing. That is not what creativity is. Misrepresenting yourself at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're lying in bed and you're frustrated because you can't self-actualize because your entire self-esteem relies on external validation. These are the true reasons for creative frustration. And the only way we can do that is to give ourselves an opportunity to be more creative, to be more expressive, and to be more articulate about ourselves, and not who we think we are or perhaps who we want to be. Let's look at the best way to do this. Something I've always talked about a lot is one of the reasons we get frustrated with our photography and our creativity is that we see other people's photographs and we always get excited by them. We can go on a workshop and you can stand there with 3, 4, 5, 6 other people, and at the end of the day look at each other's photographs, and we're always impressed by other people's because they saw something that we didn't. They found an arrangement, they found ways that the landscape was interacting with itself, different perspectives. They were lower than we were, they were higher than we were, they walked further than we did, or they just sat longer and noticed things that we did not. So one of the things I've talked about in the past, and I would like to remind you of, is the power of note-taking, going into the landscape and noticing. Now, you can do this with a pen and paper, you can do it on your iPhone, or you can just do it with your camera, which you'll have with you anyway. Sit in a place for a while, go to the beach, go to the mountains, go to a woodland, go to a loch, a lake as you call them in other parts of the world. Go somewhere and sit, go somewhere and wander, go somewhere and get inquisitive. And when you notice something, write it down. If you are using a pen and paper, literally sit there and write down, interesting rock formations or interesting atmosphere, the way the clouds were wrapping around the mountain, layers, transitions, textures, details, contrast, luminosity, the way the colors interact, interesting birds, interesting wildlife, interesting flowers, interesting bark, interesting reflections on water surfaces, the way water flows over rocks. There's any number of exciting ways that the world does exciting things. And as we notice them, that is the first thing we should be doing, is noticing, and having a life of engagement and passion and imagination and inquisitiveness are all powerful triggers for our own creativity. And what you will find when you do notice is that you actually engage with it in a different way, because you can switch off your intellectual brain and get into a much more immersive state where you're just curious about the whole thing. If you write down a list of things that you notice, you may also find that some of those things encourage emotions to come out in you. You might find your pulse rate rising, you might get a bit more excited. If you're standing on a rocky outcrop as the tide is coming in, it's very easy to get excited when you realise that you're cut off from land and you can't escape anymore. That rises emotions. It brings an emotional relationship with the landscape that's very real. Anyone who's rock climbed or done exciting sports in the outside world knows how energizing those things can be. Let the landscape energize you. If you're looking at the reflections on a water surface, understand the hypnotic qualities of those things and how it can relax you. And then once you understand that emotional relationship, you can look at different ways of using your camera to express those feelings and emotions. Your creativity is not locked up on Instagram, on your feed, watching other people's images coming up towards you. That is not where your creativity is. We get frustrated with our creativity when we try to copy somebody else's, because all we realize is that we are living somebody else's life. We're trying to see the world through somebody else's eyes. I always say on workshops, there's no point in trying to make photographs like me, because you can't. No one can make photos like me any more than I can make photos like somebody who's on the workshop. And quite often I get inspired by their work and their imagination and their creativity, because they are seeing the world through their eyes. The biggest cause of creative frustration is measuring yourself against other people all the time. You need to stop doing it, ultimately, because it's unhealthy for you. You have to accept that your perspectives are unique. If I were to force you to listen to the playlists that I listen to on a daily basis, you may like some of them and you may hate some of them. My creative choice, my preferences for the things that I like in the world may be entirely different from yours. You have to live your life. You have to express yourself in your way. You have to allow your creativity to come out. You're not going to find your creativity in somebody else's work. You're not going to find your creativity by trying to copy somebody else. And you're certainly not going to find your creativity by looking at images on the internet that are downright lies and misrepresentations of what the world looked like at the time the photographer was there. I'm honest enough to hold these things up to you and say, listen, there's a lot of crap out there that's just lies and misrepresentations. If you want that to be the gold standard of your creativity, good luck with that, and you're probably watching the wrong channel, because that is not the direction that we are going to be heading in. I want you to find your creativity so that you can be you, and ultimately you're going to be a happier person, a more self-actualized person, and ultimately a more expressive and emotionally balanced person. We are going to be bringing out regular videos now, so please hit the bell notification, because the way YouTube is punishing me at the moment for not having produced so much content is they don't share the posts that I do make. So please just click that bell notification if you are a subscriber, and that way you will be notified when we post new content. We've got lots of exciting things coming up. I'm going to be looking quite soon at some of the more technical processing side of things as well, to try and balance that out with some of this theoretical, mind-blowing, sort of thought-crunching content as well. I hope you find the channel useful. I hope you just don't tune in for my gorgeous Scottish accent and my beautiful shiny head. I hope you also do get some value from the points that we're making, because I think expressive photography really is a gateway to having a far more expressive and articulate creative life. And I know from my own experience how beneficial that has been to me. So thanks for watching. I do appreciate your support. And tune in again soon, because there will be more coming. Bye for now.